everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, I've been in Washington DC on this travel assignment since September, and I actually extended all the way until February, until after my birthday. A lot of reasons, but since I've been up here, it's been a journey. Like, this is a period of my life that is a lot of, I don't know, I feel like it's a transition into something new, something so beautiful. When I first came up here, I was low-key going through it, so I definitely needed to be making money, new scenery and everything like that. My friends that I don't get to see as often are up here as well, so got a chance to hang out with them more than I do. So Washington DC has been an experience for me, and I'm liking it. No, it's not a permanent experience that I want to keep, but overall I extended my contract, so I'm obviously having a good time and I'm making money and I'm loving my job. So that's what I want to give you all an update on, and I want to tell y'all some bumps on the road that I had since I've been here. I wrote some things down just so I could keep track. Got my little wine here because this story is pretty crazy. This travel assignment has been something else, and this is my first travel assignment that I have done that wasn't a COVID crisis assignment, so it was very different. A lot of my COVID crisis assignments, I was working 6 days a week or 4 days a week, so I didn't get as much free time. This is the first time that I'm having so much free time where I'm actually getting to explore the city as well as work. So I'm really having a good time up here. It's been a lot of changes. It's just been a lot. I started in September. I was initially supposed to stay until December 11th. However, when I went in my bank account and I'm just like, I think I want to save more. Plus, the time I leave here, I want to have more money for my birthday. I'm moving into a 1-bedroom finally in Atlanta. So I just want to have more money for my 1-bedroom, for more furniture. I don't want to leave so soon. Plus, I have friends out here. We're just having a good time. I just felt like 3 months is a little too quick for me to just be leaving. You know, my money isn't going to be where I want it to be. I don't want to leave my friends this soon, and I'm having a good time. This job is like the least toxic job I've ever been at. All hospitals, they have their own problems. However, the problems are not that bad to where I should be in a rush to leave. And if there's a possibility to extend the contract, which it was, I'm going to extend the contract. And saving up for my birthday and my apartment, I need as least stress as possible. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just staying my contract. My hospital / nursing home is super chill, super easy going. I love everyone there. If there's gonna be a time where I'm trying to like boss up and make money and be on grind time, it is at this hospital. And I don't want to be in a toxic environment where I'm picking up shifts at a job I hate, like, because I love this job. So I just need to stay. Plus, like I said, my friends are up here, saving me money for my birthday, saving me money for my 1-bedroom when I get into Atlanta. And no, Washington DC is not a place for me to stay permanently. I'll get into that a little later in this video, but for the time being, I can do it. I can stay here. Like I said, I was going through a lot when I first moved up here, and now I feel like it's the perfect time for me to transition into something new, and that's what I'm doing now. So I want to talk about my hospital. So the hospital that I'm working at, I didn't know that it was a nursing home too when I first came up here. I didn't even know respiratory therapists could work at nursing homes, but it's half a nursing home, half an LTAC. And if you don't know, LTAC is a long-term acute care. There is basically where if you are a chronic vent patient and you need to be on the ventilator a little longer than just the hospital setting, you're going to go to an LTAC. And if you're going to be trached and you're going to have to stay on the trach or have a trach a little longer, you're going to go to an LTAC. If you just need some more care, but it's not critical care like a hospital, then you go to a LTAC. And once you're done with the LTAC, like once you don't need to be in the LTAC, but you still need to be at the vent, the place that I work is also a nursing home. So a lot of people send their family members to the nursing home so that we can monitor. They have respiratory therapists there because some of the family members can't take care of their vented family members at home. So we're also a nursing home on some of the floors. I think it's like the 4th through 6th floor is a nursing home. So we're just taking care of these chronic vent patients, doing vent checks, trying to wean them off the ventilator. Really nothing too crazy. Like, we don't do a whole bunch of intubations. We're basically just always trying to wean patients off the ventilators. We're just maintenance, making sure they're okay, making sure their trach is clean, making sure they're suction, just maintaining whatever they have going on. We don't do a lot of breathing treatments. However, we do some breathing treatments, but we don't do a lot of breathing treatments. It's mainly just these patients that are on the ventilators and they are going to be on the ventilator long term, and eventually some of them do get weaned off and they go to a lower level of care. But that's kind of where I'm working at. Like, it's an LTAC on some of the floors. They have an ICU, and then there's the nursing home. Like, it is pretty chill. It's not a hospital or nursing home. What they call is a SNF, the nursing home side. But it's not a place where you can learn so much. I am learning. I'm becoming an expert at trachs. But it's not really a place that you can gain a lot more skills like you would at a hospital setting. So that's kind of the con of working there. However, as far as easy pace, it's drama at every hospital, but there's not a lot of drama at this hospital. I would say some of the nurses, they don't know as much as your typical ICU nurses. When you're dealing with ventilators and you're in a setting where it's ventilators, you normally have nurses that they're more experienced in critical care, so they know, oh, okay, the vent's going off, let me suction them, things like that. They don't deal with our vents. Like, they're not in control of the vents, we're in control of our vents. Sometimes they'll suction and do this. Like, at the nursing home, they definitely don't do that. The LTAC, sometimes the nurses will suction, but it's not typical how it is at the hospital. Like, they know that we know the ventilators, and that is kind of just what it is. So I'm not going to say the nurses, they're just not experienced in the critical care setting, and that ventilators are mainly critical care. So that's the only thing with that. Some of the nurses that just, they're nursing home nurses. Like, they're not critical care nurses, yet they have these vents in their facilities. So it's like, it's kind of weird, if you know what I'm trying to say. But it's kind of weird, but I kind of got used to it, and it's honestly not a bad environment. Sometimes the nurses, they will get on your nerves about just things that you feel like they should know. However, it's not their fault because, like I said, they're a nursing home nurse. As far as the employees that work there, my team, my respiratory team, everyone is so nice. I love them so much. I work with a lot of Ethiopian people, and I love them so much. Like, there's so many Ethiopians in Washington DC, and I just love them so much. They're so sweet. They're always sharing their food. Like, I'm not gonna say my favorite, but one I'm really close with, her name is Rosa. We call each other sisters. I love her so much. They're all older than me. I'm the youngest person at this facility as far as my department, so they just look at me like I'm just a baby. One of my coworkers calls me baby girl, and it's just like, oh my god, it made me feel like, oh, I'm just such a little baby. Even though I know I'm not. But it's just so sweet, and I like to be in that type of environment because I previously came from a hospital where it was a lot of drama because everybody was the same age, 25, 26, 24. And if you're in a hospital with a whole bunch of 24, 25, 26-year-old, everybody in their 20s, it's gonna be some drama. But when you're in a facility where you're the youngest one, they're just gonna look at you like, oh, you're the baby, let me help her, let me do this. They love me. They're super sweet, and I love that about this hospital. Like I said, I'm trying to save up for my 1-bedroom. I'm trying to save up for my birthday trip in Costa Rica, so I'm not really here for the drama. I'm just trying to make my money, and I'm just trying to go home. So So that's what I'm doing here. And to have a work environment where there's actually people, not saying I didn't like my coworkers at my other job, but working with older people is just a difference. You just don't have to deal with all the extra, if you get what I mean. If you work with a lot of young people, you'll understand that it could be a lot of drama. Like, even if you don't, it's just natural. It's like being in college, being in high school. So, aside from my hospital, I gotta tell y'all what happened. So, like I said, I've been on this travel assignment since September. The housing is super expensive. Washington, D.C. is expensive as freaking hell. So expensive. It is like, these apartments, like right now I'm in my friend's apartment and I'm pretty sure she pays like $2,000 something. Like, these one bedrooms, $2,000. Like, they could go up to $3,000. It's much more expensive than Atlanta. I feel like Washington, D.C. is like Atlanta. Like, Washington, D.C. is so expensive. So I was staying in an Airbnb. It was from Zeus Apartments. Well, Zeus Airbnb. It's like a little temporary housing thing, but they go through Airbnb sometimes to promote and rent out their short-term leases. So I was staying there. I don't know anything about Washington, D.C. because I'm not from Washington, D.C. I don't know the little streets. I don't know what's the hood. I don't know what's not hood. I don't know what's the bougie areas, whatever. So I see this apartment. It looks super nice on the inside. I'm like, oh, okay, 8th Street. Let me stay here. You know, $2,700 a month. Everything's included. It's like 5 minutes from my job. I was biking every day to work. I could walk from work, I could walk to work, or I could bike to work. You know, the little line bikes, that's what I was riding to work. It was like 5 minutes from my job. So I'm like, okay, let me stay here, whatever. So I was staying in that apartment, and then I was so freaked out about the area when I first came. I'm like, how is this the hood, but it's not the hood at the same time? And I'm from Florida, so it's either the hood or it's not. And in Atlanta, I feel like it's either the hood or it's not too. Or maybe just the area I live in is not the hood or it's not. I don't know. But the area that I was staying, I guess it was gentrified. So, you know, I'm not talking about my people or nothing. But it's just like, put me in a neighborhood that is, you know, like, don't put me in the hood. Don't put me in something that y'all are trying to not make the hood anymore. So I was in an area that it was used to be the hood, but now they're trying not to make it the hood. And it was called 8th Street. And I was terrified when I got there. I just had a weird feeling. So I had my uncle send me my Ring camera. My uncle sent me my Ring camera because it just was confusing to me. Like, I had a culture shock because I'm like, why is it the hood, but it's not the hood? Like, I just simply didn't get it. Like, Family Dollar right next to me, yet it's vegan restaurants right next to me. Then it's people walking their dogs, but then it's like crackheads on the street. It just was so confusing to me. So I was staying there on 8th Street, and I had a weird feeling about it. But like I said, I had my uncle give me my Ring camera. I had an extra lock on the door, got it from Amazon, and I'm just like, this area it's so nice, and it has nice parts of it, yet it also is kind of ghetto. I don't know. But yeah, so basically I was standing there from September. In September, someone threw a rock at it and they stole all our packages. I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna let that go because maybe it was some rotten kids that are just trying to make some trouble. I don't know. So that happened. Just let it go. I told Airbnb about it. I told Zeus about it because Zeus is, like I told you, they go through Airbnb to promote and rent out their short-term leasing apartments. So I told them about it. They're like, oh, just get a new package or whatever. I'm sorry this happened, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. So October comes by. Everything's good. November comes by. Tell me why I'm at work, and like I said, my uncle gave me a Ring camera. Well, he sent my Ring camera from Atlanta to me. Tell me why I'm at work in the middle of the night and there's someone at my door. Someone at my door, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, what is going on? So at the time, I didn't pay for Ring to record. I'm like, oh my God, why is this man at my door? So I hurry up. I'm on the phone with my best friend. I'm at work. I'm on the phone with my best friend. I'm like, let me pay for this Ring camera so I could record what's going on. There's a man at my door. He's in a Pooh Shiesty mask. And he just keeps knocking at my door, ringing the doorbell, and I peeked. He looked for a key under the mat. So I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is happening right now? So I'm like, you know what? I contact Airbnb. I have the police escort me home when I get home in the morning because I'm like, this is too scary. Like, what the hell is going on? Why is there somebody at my door? Maybe he's at the wrong house. I don't know. I also did call the police while he was there. Well, like minutes after he was there, because they didn't find him, to come in. It was like 4 police that came, but they didn't see anybody. So I'm like, okay, you know what? My sister's gonna be here this week for Thanksgiving, and then I have one more week in this apartment because I was gonna move from that apartment anyways, from that Airbnb anyways, because it was too expensive. It was $2,700 a month. Like, that is too freaking expensive. So I ended up, my friend Nikki in Fort Lauderdale had a coworker that wanted to do a travel assignment in DC, which God is just so amazing. Like, my mom and God are so amazing because everything just be working out the way it should. So I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed that she found me a roommate, and we just found a new place and we split the rent or whatever. So that's where I'm currently staying at now. Anyways, back to the story. The next day, the man comes again. I get a Ring notification and I see that the man is back again, this time in a different mask, waiting at the door. I'm like, why does he keep ringing the doorbell, waiting at the door? Like, what the hell is going on? This man is trying to rob me and he wants me to open the door. I hear my cat in the background. He wants me to open the door so he could bombard his way in and knock me out and rob me. I'm like, oh, hell no. Now, the first time I was going to let it slide because my sister was going to be here the next weekend for a week. And then I had one more week there until I get my roommate. And I was going to move from this area anyways. However, the second time he came, I'm like, I need to move freaking now. I don't have time for that. Like, this is scary. Like, what if he comes back? Like, this man is he following me? Is he out to kill me, or what is it? So all my coworkers, they're like, oh yeah, Lonnie, you need to move. You need to move. You don't need to be there. That's so scary. That man could attack you. I was so nervous. So that's when, like, I contacted Airbnb already about him coming the first time, but I was just gonna let it slide. The second time, I'm like, no, you need to get me out of here. I'm not playing. Like, this is scary. I don't know who this man is. I don't want to stay here. I don't feel comfortable staying here. At this point, I'm like, you know what? As soon as I get home, there's no going to sleep. I don't care how tired I am. I start packing up all my stuff. I'm like, I'm getting the hell up out of here. I was like, I don't care what Airbnb is doing. I'm about to give me a hotel, and y'all gonna have to figure out something and give me my damn refund for the remainder of the time that I'm supposed to be here. So after that, Airbnb, they finally get in contact with me, and they're like, okay, we'll pay for you a hotel for 3 nights. While we complete the investigation, we'll find you someplace else to stay. My sister was coming in town, like I said. My sister was coming in town for Thanksgiving. So I packed up all my stuff by myself. My cousin came and picked me up, and they said the hotel that I could get is up to like $300 a night. So I picked the bougiest hotel ever, and I ended up in a super nice hotel. Spent Thanksgiving in a super nice hotel by the water. It's called The Wharf. So that was really exciting for me. That turned out to be really nice. My sister and niece, they loved it. One of my coworkers named Tess, she cooked some food for my sister, for me. She made veggie lasagna for me, and she made fish for my sister. And we just had a good time at the hotel or whatever. So I was there for 3 days until they finished the investigation. I found a new Airbnb, and this Airbnb that I found, terrible. It was terrible. It was on another side. You just gotta be careful where you stay in DC. Like, this Airbnb that I was staying in, It was on Georgia Avenue. It was also ghetto. The smell was terrible. It was just like, ugh, why did I freaking come to this place? But I was only staying there for 2 weeks because, like I told you all before, I was gonna have my roommate. We found this really nice place, an indoor apartment, similar to kind of how I live in Atlanta. It's called the Sonder Apartment. If you want to check them out, check out Sonder Apartments. They're all over the United States, and they're super nice. They're basically like hotels, but they're also short-term leases for people that are working contracts like me or something like that. They're Sonder Apartments. I stayed there for the 2 weeks, which when I stayed there for 2 weeks, the place was so nasty, so disgusting. I wore shoes in the shower, like shower shoes. I did not cook in there. I was getting so depressed because it was so dark and gloomy, and it just wasn't my type of lifestyle. So I was really depressed when my sister left because they came for a week. We stayed in a really fancy hotel for 3 days. However, I didn't realize that I got the Airbnb for the day after instead of the day that I was actually supposed to move there. So we ended up staying in the hotel for 4 days. Then we moved into the Airbnb. It was trash. It smelled nasty and stuff. So it did lead me into a depression. I did not want to take a shower there. Luckily, I had a cabin trip. So that was 3 days of me taking a shower in a bougie little cabin. And then I also stayed at my friend's house. And then I had so many points for those 4 days that I stayed there. I actually stayed at that hotel again with my friends. We had a little girls' night, whatever. So yeah, that was a terrible experience. And I stayed, so it was like I went from staying on 8th Street to moving to the hotel for 4 days, then moving to this Airbnb for now like a whole week. It was a lot of moving. I've lost some stuff with all the moving. However, let me tell y'all what happened to me. I ended up getting a refund for not only the remainder of the time that I was at the Airbnb, but for the whole stay. The whole stay. I got $7,000. $7,000. And that was so amazing to me. Like, God is so good. Like, I know my mom is just looking out for me, and God is always just looking out for me because I got $7K. If y'all didn't know, I was paying 2 rents. I was paying my rent here, which is really an Airbnb, so technically it's not rent, it's Airbnb. And then I was paying my rent in Georgia. So I'm paying like almost $4K a month out of my travel money, which, you know, of course I'm still saving. Of course I'm still making money doing what I want to do. But it's like, that is a lot. And then my cat, he had a procedure done when he was here because with the move, he was so anxious. He had really bad anxiety. So his procedure was $2,000. So I opened up a care credit card and I paid with that. So it was like, at one point I was feeling like, is DC the right move? Like, I just had to pay this for my cat. It's just all this, I don't know. It was just so much. So I'm paying 2 rents. Like, am I really saving money? So that's when I got this $7K, I paid that $2,000 off for my cat. I paid all the credit card bills down. I was so happy. I'm like, yay. And now I'm moving with this roommate. And the roommate, like the Sonder apartment that we found, is like $3,000 a month. So we only paid $1,500 split between the two. It's also close by my job. It's super nice. Like I said, indoor apartment. Everything is beautiful there. I love staying there. I'm currently staying there now, and I just love it. Like, I'm in a more positive state. I'm in a more positive mindset. The little 1 week Airbnb that I was staying in had me in a depression, but when I moved here, I was so happy. Like, the one on 8th Street, it wasn't necessarily bad. It was just where it was, but the inside, super nice. I loved it so much. It was clean. It had TV there. Everything was amazing there. However, it just wasn't the most safest environment for me to be in. And you see, that's why they gave me my $7K back, because why should somebody have to go through that? Yeah, but I ended up getting my money back. That's such a blessing. Now I'm staying in a nice place, Sonder apartment. And check Saunders out. Like, they're basically like hotels. They give you washing detergent, Tide Pods, tissue, paper towels. You don't have to worry about anything. So you're really saving money for everything. You don't have to pay for anything except the Sonder apartment. They pay your utilities, they pay all of that. Like, Sonder versus Zeus, because they're the same thing. Sonder also sometimes goes through Airbnb to promote and rent out their short-term leases. I recommend Sonder, because Sonder will not try you like how Zeus tried me. $2,700 a month. I'm staying in a 2-bedroom right now for $3,000 a month, and split between the two is like $1,500. But if I got a 1-bedroom, it'll be even cheaper, and they give you a huge discount if you stay for months. So Sonder is better than Zeus. I hope that circles it all over the place, but yeah, that's what happened to me. It was so crazy, and it was just putting me in a depression, because it was like, oh my God, what is going on? And that's what made up my mind. Like, at first I was feeling DC. I was like, okay, maybe I might move here. You know, I got my friends here. It's real cool. I'm loving my job. I just, I'm kind of feeling DC. However, after that situation, and I realized, okay, DC is crime filled. After I had that situation happen to me, I just keep seeing crime after crime after crime after crime after crime. I was in a patient room, and they said somebody got shot at the holiday market. And I seen like congressman got carjacked, FBI agent got carjacked. I'm like, this is not where I'm meant to stay. Then it's getting colder. I seen a rat. It's like, get me the hell out of DC. I did have my time here. I'm still here like 2 more months. I'm enjoying myself. I'm in my friend's apartment right now, just vibing out. I love my friends. I love the time that we're spending together. Shout out to Zaria and Kennedy. It's a good period of my life. However, this is not gonna be my life. So I will be back in ATL. Plans for me there, I'm going to get a new job. Really trying to get into the NICU, because I ain't gonna speak on what I got going on, but I'm really trying to get into the NICU. I don't do Turo anymore. Watch that video. Just ready for my new 1-bedroom. Like I said, I feel like DC was me transitioning into what my life is about to be. Got my money back up. Y'all know I had a very terrible summer. Watch my Turo video. My summer 2023 was really shitty, so had to get my money back up. Have a new scenery, new environment to kind of get my spirits up. Yeah, I needed this. I needed to be in this environment. Like I said, I was in a very toxic job. Now I'm in a great job. It's just, everybody's so nice and friendly. I definitely needed this. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm so grateful that I got this job, because if you didn't know, I quit my job before I even had a job lined up. I thought I had a job lined up, but that job lied and said that they were going to hire me, but they didn't. Just a whole lot of but that's where I am now. Excited for the rest of this assignment, excited for my Costa Rica trip. I moved in my new apartment. I actually have to fly to Atlanta to move in my 1-bedroom, and y'all, I got a good deal on it too. My 1-bedroom that I'm gonna be staying in is only like $1,400 in these days. Is good for a 1-bedroom. I'm moving out of the studio. I couldn't do the studio anymore. It was like $1,300 something, but now I'm at $1,400. I still didn't hit the $1,600, $1,700 like everybody's doing these days. It's still not my house, so I don't want to put too much money into it, but $1,400 I could definitely do. So that being said, this video was super long, but as you know, it has been a journey for me. I'm happy. I know I would definitely be happy by the time I leave here. I'm gonna have gone to Costa Rica. It's a very spiritual place. I'm gonna walk into my new 1-bedroom apartment in Atlanta, have a new job lined up. Just better spirits than I was when I came here. So that being said, I hope you all like this video. Questions, comments, concerns, tell me what you all. Oh shoot, I forgot to tell you guys this one last thing. So I did come out with 2 new respiratory journals, one for males and one for females this time. New designs. They have normal values in them, so if you ever forget, you know, heart rate, SpO2, normal SpO2, ventilator values, go in the front of the book and you have it all right there. I know that we all should know that, but just sometimes we forget, or sometimes when our mind's everywhere, we have a lot going on in the hospital, we may forget. So that being said, the normal values are at the front of these new respiratory journals. You check those out. Check my journals out. I hope you all like the new design. Go online and buy them. They really keep me organized when I'm working, especially at this LTAT. They keep me organized. Just track of all my vent patients, track of their heart rates, keeping track of everything. I really love it. So that being said, I hope you all like this video. Check out my respiratory journal. Any questions, comments, concerns, I'm here. And yeah, bye.